Have you ever wondered why some people wake up every morning full of energy, unstoppable focus, and a sense that nothing can stop them, while others drag themselves out of bed, tired, distracted, and already behind before the day even begins? That difference is not luck, it's not chance, it's not fate. It's the way they start their day. And today, you're about to discover the secret that can change everything for you. Imagine waking up tomorrow feeling excited, clear-headed, and ready to take on every challenge. Imagine a morning where you're not reacting to the day but creating it, setting it on fire with purpose, energy, and confidence. Most people never experience this because they underestimate the power of the first hour after waking. They scroll mindlessly on their phones, linger in bed, or rush without intention. But those who succeed, who live with purpose and passion, understand this. Your morning is your launch pad. It is the single most important factor that shapes not just today, but every day, and eventually, your life. Your brain is like a garden. What you plant in the morning determines what grows throughout the day. If you plant chaos, distraction, and hesitation, that's exactly what will grow. But if you plant focus, clarity, and deliberate energy, life begins to bend in your favor. Your morning habits are the invisible architecture of your day. They shape your mood, your energy, your decisions, and your ability to stay motivated even when the world pushes back. Psychology proves it. The first 60 minutes after waking are critical because your brain is most malleable. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself, is at its peak in those early hours. This is your chance to program your mind for success, not failure. You might think, but I don't have time. I'm too tired. I'll start tomorrow. That is the trap. That is the lie the mind tells to keep you comfortable, small, and stagnant. Motivation does not come to you by chance. It is triggered by action, by choice, by the discipline to claim your first hour and make it yours. Even 5 minutes of intentional focus in the morning can change the trajectory of your entire day. 5 minutes. That's all it takes to start the chain reaction that leads to momentum, confidence, and unstoppable progress. And here's the truth. Your morning sets the tone not just for the day, but for your life. Every successful person in history, every person you admire, has mastered this principle in some form. They know that chaos in the morning leads to chaos in life. Calm, clarity, and purpose in the morning lead to unstoppable success. Your body, mind, and emotions respond to routine. They crave structure, and when you feed them the right habits in the morning, they reward you with energy, focus, and resilience. Think about this. When you start your day intentionally, you stop being a passenger in your own life. You take control. You decide your mood instead of letting the world decide it for you. You choose focus instead of distraction. You choose progress instead of procrastination. You are telling your brain, your body, and your soul that you are worth the effort, that you refuse to settle, that you refuse to let life just happen to you. And that decision, that single moment of choice in the morning, ripples outward into everything you do. Now, here's a secret reward for those who watch this video until the end. By the time you finish, you won't just know the habits. You'll feel them. You'll understand exactly how to weave them into your mornings in a way that makes you unstoppable. You'll have the blueprint to wake up with clarity, energy, and focus every single day. And once you experience that, everything else becomes easier. Work, relationships, health, and even your dreams that once felt distant suddenly come within reach. But before diving into the habits themselves, you must understand the psychology of motivation. Motivation is not some magical force that hits randomly. It is a response to clarity, purpose, and action. When you know what to do, when you see the reward clearly, and when you take the first step, motivation floods your brain naturally. And the first step always begins in the morning. How you start determines how you feel, how you perform, and how persistent you remain when obstacles arise. Every time you hit snooze, scroll on your phone, or linger in bed, you are sending your brain the message that comfort is more important than growth. Every time you rise with intention, you are sending the message that you are in control, that your dreams are worth the effort, and that your life is your responsibility. Your morning is not just a routine, it is a declaration that today and every day you are ready to fight for your best life. So before revealing the 5 essential habits that will transform your mornings forever, take a moment to imagine the life you want. See it clearly. Feel it in your chest, the energy, the focus, the unstoppable momentum. That life is possible. It begins with one decision, the decision to rise intentionally, the decision to claim your first hour, the decision to refuse distraction, to refuse procrastination, and to refuse to settle for mediocrity. Your morning is your canvas. Today is your paintbrush. And the masterpiece of your life is waiting to be created. The habits you are about to learn will not only change your mornings, they will change your mindset, your body, and your soul. They will ignite a fire within you that no obstacle can extinguish. But it all begins with understanding one thing. The power of the morning is real. The people who succeed, the people who inspire, the people who change the world, they all knew this. And now, it is your turn. The moment you open your eyes tomorrow, the first habit begins, not with your body, but with your mind. Your thoughts are the most powerful tool you possess. They shape your emotions, dictate your energy, and determine how every decision unfolds. Before you check your phone, before you think about breakfast or emails, take control of your mental state. This is the habit of a mindset reset, and it is the cornerstone of a winning morning. Your brain wakes up in a state of suggestion, like a blank canvas ready to be painted. If you allow negativity, doubt, or fear to fill it first, the whole day tilts toward struggle. But if you consciously choose thoughts of possibility, courage, and focus, the rest of the day aligns with that energy. This is not magic. It is science. Cognitive psychology shows that the first thoughts you entertain influence your mood, your behavior, and even your physical energy. Your morning mindset sets the neural pathways that guide every action for hours to come. A small adjustment in the first 10 minutes can change the entire rhythm of your day. Start by recognizing the power of choice. You always have the option to begin with intention or drift into reaction. When you wake, tell yourself that today is a gift. Tell yourself that you control your energy, that your focus is stronger than distraction, and that your choices shape the results you see. These affirmations are not empty words. They are commands to your brain, reminders of your capability. Repeating them with belief rewires your subconscious to expect success rather than failure. Gratitude is a powerful companion to this mindset reset. Instead of thinking about what went wrong yesterday or what challenges lie ahead, shift your attention to what you already have. Gratitude is not a passive feeling. It is an active decision to focus on abundance. When you acknowledge even the smallest blessings, a comfortable bed, a warm shower, the ability to breathe freely, you ignite chemicals in your brain that reduce stress and enhance positivity. This simple practice turns your mind into a magnet for opportunities, instead of a factory of complaints and excuses. Visualization is another critical tool in this habit. Spend a few moments imagining the life you want, seeing yourself handling challenges with calm, making decisions with confidence, and achieving your goals. Visualization primes your brain to act as if those outcomes are already real. Neurologically, your brain cannot fully distinguish between imagined success and real success. When you see yourself succeeding, your mind unconsciously begins to take steps to make it happen. This is why champions, innovators, and top performers across every field begin their day with clear mental pictures of the victories they intend to create. Next comes the awareness of inner dialogue. Many people let their minds run wild with self-doubt or criticism without noticing. The first thoughts you give yourself in the morning can be your most persistent and powerful beliefs. By consciously speaking to yourself with encouragement, patience, and determination, you program your mind to seek solutions instead of problems. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," replace it with, "I am capable, I am prepared, and I will take action." Each thought reinforces your neural circuits, strengthening confidence and resilience. This habit also requires presence. The world will demand your attention immediately, but the first minutes of the morning are yours. Spend them fully aware, not half asleep or half distracted. Sit, breathe deeply, feel your body waking, and recognize the gift of a new day. Your awareness fuels your focus, your self-control, and your ability to handle challenges without stress. Mindfulness in the morning sets the tone for mental clarity that lasts well into the evening. Another key component of mindset reset is intention. Decide what kind of day you want before the world imposes its chaos. Are you going to be reactive, letting interruptions and challenges control your emotions? Or are you going to be proactive, steering your choices with purpose and courage? Setting a clear intention gives your subconscious direction. It tells your mind what to prioritize, what to protect, and what to pursue. A well-defined intention is like a compass. It keeps you moving steadily even when distractions appear. This habit is not about perfection. It is about preparation. Even 5 minutes of intentional mental focus can outperform hours of mindless activity. A brief period of silence, a few affirmations, a moment of gratitude, and a clear intention create a foundation stronger than caffeine or external motivation. When the mind is aligned, the body follows. Energy rises, focus sharpens, and confidence grows naturally. The mindset reset also protects you from external negativity. News, notifications, and other people's chaos often invade the morning, shaping thoughts before you even realize it. By starting with a deliberate mental practice, you shield your mind from these influences. You create a mental fortress, allowing you to respond instead of react, to build instead of waste, to achieve instead of drift. Finally, this habit cultivates self-respect. By taking responsibility for your mind first, you honor your potential. You show yourself that you are worthy of clarity, energy, and purpose. Each day, you practice mindset reset. You reinforce the belief that you are in charge of your life. That belief, more than anything else, is the true fuel behind sustained motivation and action. Tomorrow morning, when the alarm rings, resist the urge to drift. Instead, pause, breathe, center your thoughts, express gratitude, visualize your success, speak words that strengthen you. Decide the intention for your day. This is not a ritual. It is a declaration that you refuse to live passively, that you are the author of your destiny. One small habit in the first moments can spark a day filled with energy, focus, and unstoppable momentum. The mind, once awakened intentionally, becomes your most loyal ally. It fuels every decision, every action, and every victory. And that is why the first habit, mindset reset, is not just a morning practice. It is the foundation upon which all other habits, energy, and achievements are built. When the mind is clear, confident, and focused, everything else falls into place. Once the mind is awake, clear, and focused, the next step is to awaken the body. Energy is not something that comes from caffeine, luck, or motivation alone. It is generated by movement. The second habit is physical activation, a practice that shakes off lethargy, ignites alertness, and releases the energy that the mind alone cannot produce. Without moving the body, the focus cultivated in the first habit remains stagnant. The mind needs a body in motion to fully awaken, and motion is the bridge between intention and action. When the body stretches, breathes deeply, and flows with controlled movement, it signals the brain that it is time to perform. Science proves that even a short burst of activity in the morning stimulates neurotransmitters such as dopamine and serotonin, chemicals that drive focus, happiness, and motivation. Muscles and joints waking up send a message to the brain. You are alive, you are ready, and the day is yours to conquer. Those who ignore this vital connection often spend hours feeling sluggish, distracted, or unable to summon the energy required for meaningful action. Movement is not just exercise, it is a declaration of readiness. This habit does not demand long hours or intense workouts. Even a few minutes of deliberate stretching, yoga, or light cardio can awaken the nervous system and prepare the body for peak performance. When the heart rate rises slightly and muscles engage, blood flows more efficiently, oxygen reaches every cell, and the body produces natural energy that no cup of coffee can match. The body becomes a living instrument, tuned and responsive, ready to support the mind in achieving clarity and excellence. The psychological impact of movement is profound. Action generates motivation. The simple act of standing, stretching, or moving triggers the brain to release chemicals that increase alertness and readiness. Procrastination disappears as the body and mind align. When motion enters the morning, it signals to the subconscious that you are committed to the day's challenges, reinforcing confidence and willpower. Even moments of resistance fade once the first step of physical activation is taken. Movement builds momentum in the body just as mindset builds momentum in the mind. Together they form a force impossible to ignore. In addition, physical activation reduces stress and mental clutter. The tension stored in the body from sleep or previous days is released, making space for clarity, creativity, and problem-solving. Deep breaths combined with movement improve oxygenation of the brain, enhancing focus, alertness, and emotional resilience. The body, once awake, supports the mind in decision-making and persistence. Without this connection, mental effort alone can feel heavy, slow, and strained. The habit of moving in the morning also cultivates discipline. The body resists effort naturally. It prefers comfort and inertia. Each time you overcome that initial resistance, even for a few minutes, you reinforce a pattern of self-control that carries through the day. Discipline is like a muscle. It grows stronger with repeated challenges. Morning movement is a small, consistent victory that accumulates, creating unstoppable strength, resilience, and energy in every area of life. It is essential to understand that movement is not punishment. It is celebration. It is not about burning calories or looking a certain way. It is about awakening potential, preparing the mind and body for high performance, and creating a deep sense of vitality. Each stretch, each breath, each step taken intentionally in the morning is a reminder that life is meant to be experienced fully, energetically, and with purpose. Motion becomes a ritual, a practice of empowerment that energizes the entire day. This habit also reinforces the connection between mind and body. When the body moves, the mind becomes sharper. When the mind is clear, movement becomes more purposeful. The two work together to create harmony, alertness, and balance. Neglecting one breaks the flow of energy and focus. Morning physical activation ensures both are aligned. It is the engine that allows intention to translate into action. Even simple practices like standing, rolling the shoulders, bending forward, or walking with focus can have profound effects. Each movement sends a signal to the nervous system. The day is beginning, and you are ready. Heart rate rises, blood pumps, and the brain enters a state of alertness that lasts hours. The body becomes a fuel source for energy, not a weight dragging the mind down. This is why physical activation in the morning is indispensable. It transforms fatigue into vitality and hesitation into momentum. Beyond energy, this habit strengthens confidence. When the body is awake and alert, the mind interprets this as competence. Movement signals capability to the subconscious, building a sense of readiness and strength. You feel empowered to face challenges, take risks, and pursue goals. Without movement, even the clearest intentions can feel distant and unattainable. The body carries the mind forward, turning thoughts into action, dreams into reality. Finally, this habit establishes a rhythm of ownership. By choosing to activate the body first thing, you declare that the day will not dictate your energy. You will. You claim control over every hour, every action, and every decision. This is not merely physical exercise, it is an expression of self-mastery. The energy produced in these minutes fuels clarity, focus, and determination, allowing you to approach the day with power, purpose, and resilience. Tomorrow, when you rise, do not linger. Begin by waking the mind fully, then move the body with intention. Feel the blood pumping, the lungs filling, the energy expanding. Let each movement reinforce the belief that you are capable, that the day belongs to you, and that every challenge can be met with clarity and strength. This habit of physical activation will transform mornings from a period of resistance into a launchpad of opportunity, fueling everything you do with unstoppable vitality and focus. Once the body is awake and the mind energized, the next habit shapes the soul. This is the practice of gratitude and reflection, a quiet yet powerful force that rewires your thinking, elevates your mood, and aligns your energy with abundance. Most people rush through the morning focused on what's missing, what's wrong, or what demands their attention first. But the truly successful understand that the state of your inner world determines the state of your outer world. Gratitude is the key to opening that door. Before engaging with anyone or anything, pause. Take a moment to notice what is already present in your life. It could be something as simple as the air in your lungs, the roof over your head, or the ability to see the sunrise. When you acknowledge these gifts consciously, your brain begins to shift focus from scarcity to possibility. Neuroscience proves that gratitude activates regions in the brain associated with positive emotions, satisfaction, and motivation. It literally rewires your mind to notice opportunity instead of obstacles. This is not a fleeting feeling. It is a deliberate decision to orient your thoughts toward abundance. Writing amplifies the effect. When you put pen to paper, thoughts solidify, and your brain recognizes them as reality. Journaling about what you are grateful for, even 5 minutes, creates measurable increases in optimism and emotional resilience. It also strengthens self-awareness. When you reflect on your blessings, you become more mindful of how you think, feel, and act throughout the day. Gratitude is not just remembering the good. It is actively building a mental framework that attracts more of it.